Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Ladder Legends replay analysis. Today we have Devoid's very own NexT versus Redbullking. This is going to be from the side of NexT. What did he say? He said, did a bit of a Link Queen push early, which in my mind put me ahead. I killed his third base and droned up to 3 bases myself without having too many issues. He kept doing Stalker pressure once my offensive queens died, and while under pressure went into Hydra Ling and eventual Lurkers because I scouted him going High Templar. I went to 4 bases without any issues, but couldn't manage to secure a 5th base. I tried sending Lurkers there, but still no luck. Control-wise, I think I could have won without proper mining. I won't be able to keep up over time. Eventual transition away from pure Hydra Lurker Viper into Broodlords and Corruptors is, of course, necessary, but it ended before I had enough eco to do things. Got any advice? So, it seems like, not only based on what we said here, it seems like we missed some opportunities to do damage, but also there's almost always a window in which someone is going Storm before Storm is completed, as long as we get a decent scout on whenever Storm could possibly be on the way, so the start of a Templar Archive. So, like, if Templar Archive starts, you have about 100 seconds before Storm's ready to go. Just for reference. So let's take a look. Oh, Creep Tumor second. He should... So you want to try to be saving the drones if possible. Just extractor trick them, if that's okay, or body block or something like that. But 3 drones is pretty rough for the first adept. Like, now he's ahead of you on an eco off the rip, which is not where we want to be as a Zerg player almost ever. We also made some additional lings there, only at 1 pair, so it's not the end of the world. Job saving the tumor. You see a probe going to take the 3rd base. Okay, so yeah. When did our spores go down? Should be right, yeah. Pretty good spore timing. This guy chronoed a Oracle out immediately. He probably is gonna get there. I mean, your spore timings are on point. It's very nice to see. We should be getting some injects for this 3rd base instantaneously, and then we should be seeing a bunch more drone stars. So we're starting a bunch of lings here. Oh, you're doing a queen walk. Okay, so let me recommend next. You see how much gas you have here? So let me recommend after the first 100 gas for link speed, you go ahead and grab a lair, and then the next 100 gas you grab overlord speed, because this is only 4 queens, right? We only need 1 dropper lord, and this hits much, much harder. There is an actual build that involves lair and a dropper lord to do this. But yeah, your queens would already be here, which I'm assuming are going to save you tens, dozens of lings. Okay. I mean, he's not turning the oracles on yet. He only turned on 1. He's actually doing a really good job at maintaining his oracle energy. Nice. It's not a wall. So you should never stop here. If like, just because you want to run the oracles around and buy your queens as much time as possible. So immediately you should split off like half here and then some here and then the rest attacking the pylons. That way he's got a bunch of different locations to go. You run away. Okay, this is a mistake. You had free reign of both of these mineral lines. This guy even warped in stalkers to deal with the overlord instead of focusing on the fact that his wall was about to get busted open. We could have, so we're behind on workers. We could have rectified that very easily right there with this amount of lings and the wall being open. But now he is in position to be able to hold the wall. You do get the 3rd, which is nice, but we have no creep to be able to transfuse, and if there were creep here, we could also plant tumors down to block him from getting a 3rd for even longer, which is another advocate for the lair plus dropper lord. But we've also been lacking injects as well. Like, we only have 1 queen at home. So regardless, I think we missed a huge opportunity getting in the wall here. Very much so. Like, I think the game would have just been over right there. And then without the dropper lord, I think walking the queens across is not a good idea, in my opinion. Like, I don't hate it, but it's just like they're pretty useless, right? Without. And now he's had time to prepare. So it's like you had this wall busted wide open. There were no batteries, no units. He only made stalkers for some reason. There's a drone here. Oh, no, it's not. It looks like a drone. It's like all amalgamated. A bunch of lings fighting. Anyways, I like the fact that you're droning up behind it. You're actually in a good spot. We should have had a Roach Warren behind this, which is... Okay, you're going Hydras. Hydra Ling is the counter to Stalkers, but Roaches are a more... They're just faster, right? In terms of, like, them getting out, Roach speed. They have a lot more health. Now, Hydras don't take additional damage to them because they're light units, right? But So you're pretty ahead in this game. You're not like ridiculous. You could have just won the game, which is what's throwing me for a loop right now. So you really don't want to try. You use your hatchery as HP. Like you could just pull these drones off gas, and then let this hatchery take damage, and try to trigger the stasis with only a couple lings, like maybe coming from the backside or something. But try not to like until he's actually putting your buildings under threat. There's no reason to engage here. So it's like we have 5 hydras, 8 lings on the way, and we decide to engage with 20 lings only. It's like with the 5 hydras here, you probably clean house, no problem, right? So. Instead, now he's only really taken shield damage, and he killed 13 of your lings, right? So it's just... Yeah, so this is a Protoss wet dream right here, is for you to trickle units into them. And that's what this guy's hoping for, because you did a lot of damage to him. He's also not really making workers. Yeah, like this guy, kudos to this guy for trading well. But if we would actually use our hatcheries like HP to our advantage here, and maybe set up some like every time he runs away, we take a chunk of units and run it down here and try to go for some surrounds or something, or go this way for a surround. Just anything that can stop the blink back. Like the worst thing we can be doing is engaging in the only area that's off creep from a single angle, right? That's like where he's going to get the most efficient trades constantly. And he's not making any workers, so I see we're going for a Roach Warren now. If we're being honest, you know what shuts this down? Infestors. Fungal stops them from being able to blink completely. So Infestors shuts this down hardcore, and you only need like 1 or 2, right? It's not like we need a ton or anything like that. Also, another thing, like take this lull right here, right? Where nothing is happening, and he's sitting right here. That means he's looking back and macroing, most likely, right? Whenever you're not being attacked. Like, you're setting up for the next attack. It would be very good idea for you to take these lings and counterattack with them. Whenever you're under pressure like this, one of the best moves you can do is pull a counterattack. Because it's very likely if they're focusing all their attention and keeping their army over here that they're not ready for it. And you don't need a lot of units, you know? Just like, I mean, these lings are enough. This is what... I mean, it's a lot of lings. Okay, maybe even half these lings, but yeah. And here's the moment he's going to be vulnerable. Storm's on the way. We have no idea that it's coming, though. We haven't been able to scout for a while, which not for lack of trying. I'm just not me harping on you. You've been under a lot of pressure. But, like, you've mined so much more money than him. You're still ahead of him on supply, and you're down 2,000 in resources lost, which actually means you've been trading a little better these last couple minutes. There we go. Now we're sending stuff over, but now like he's already got Storm ready. So it's just this is a good thing for you to note, Mr. Next, right now. Okay? If he is sitting back, not attacking you after having had attacked you for 3 straight minutes, then he's probably transitioning into something, and in this case it was Storm, right? Which means that okay, he's not attacking me even if his units are still out here. Like, of course, check, but you have map vision. Now it's time to get a scout in, a counterattack going, something like that. But this is your window to kill him. This is your window to do nothing but make hydras and lings and walk across the map and end the game. Because it's a lot of money to transition to Storm. Like, it's a lot. It takes a lot of cash. It's not cheap. And another reason why counterattacking is really good here is because if you're counterattacking something important of the Protoss, right, then he can't just blink away. Oh no, but like out in the middle of the map, he can blink back no problem. But whenever you're at his base, then he has to fight you. All right, now that we've pushed this back, okay, now we're making drones. I think if these 11 larvae were all drones, then this base would be fully saturated. A little bit supply blocked at 144. I like that we're going for lurkers. So we need to add some sort of extra transportation for the lurkers if you want to play lurkers, in my opinion, and if you want to do them effectively. And what I mean by that is like overlord speed, and then we could do like dropper lords in the natural, or through past the 4th base into the main, something like that. Or unless you want to shift queue them up. But the way lurkers are most effective is by sending like 1 to each base, basically, or a couple in each base, like making them come back. Like, they're really annoying harassment tools to deal with. So I like to go Nidus or like dropper lords. I tend to prefer Nidus because you just need vision for the Nidus, right? Like, you don't have to worry about the unit dying while it's in transit. If the Nidus worm dies, things stay alive. But yeah. So we've bled a ton of units this game, my friend. If you're gonna engage him, we gotta start trying to go for surrounds. Surrounds are the easiest way to crush Protoss armies. So, like, okay, he showed you that he wants to attack here, this area, over and over and over again. He's done nothing but attack this cliff. So if I'm you, right, I'm gonna have units that are sitting like here somewhere, checking to see if he's going up this ramp, of course. But I'm saying, like, we have a chunk here, we have a chunk here, and then when he comes up this ramp, boom, I'm behind him now. And now we're clamping down like some jaws, basically. And that way you can also, of course, micro against the storms, but if you have them surrounded, it's much harder for them to use storms as a zoning tool, rather. Excuse me. Lurkers sent off for free. Our supply is super low comparatively, like to where it could be, right? We're not making anything. We have a ton of cash. Come on, spend our larva. Spend our larva. There we go. Adding in 4 Vipers. So I don't think Vipers are necessary until they have a bunch of massive units. Like, if I'm the Protoss and I see Vipers right now, I'm just gonna feedback them, right? With his army is majoritively High Templar. So we should go for, I think we should try to trade out these roaches. Roaches are pretty useless. And then we should go for, like, melee. Basically, like, Ling Lurker. Ling Lurker, very strong combo together. The Lings can surround the units, and the Lurkers can shred them, right, once the Lings are surrounded. Another thing you can do is if, like, you burrow here, right, and then if he goes to engage, then boom, Lings come out of the shadows, surround, stop things from being able to run away. Lings are also fantastic counterattack tools, especially the moment you have Adrenal, which we do have access to. At no point this game have we gotten a second evolution chamber. Actually, that's not true. We have extra right here. We could be using, I know these, I'm pretty sure these are for consume energy, but we have a bunch of transfuses. We could definitely be using these for upgrades. We kind of walked into storms right there, huh? Yeah, we did. And now he's got a bunch of Immortals out, which once enough Immortals are, it's really hard to have enough Lurkers. So yeah, we bled too many units in the early game, my friend. You ended up spending like 100 of your mid-game larva just on trying to defend those Stalkers, whenever you just need a clear objective of what you're, like, if you don't have the proper units to defend the Stalkers, we need to counterattack until we can get to the proper units. And the proper units is Ling Hydra, yes. If you don't have time to get to Hydras, then of course go Roaches. But Fungals. Fungals are what counter this. Not too much to say from this point. The Protoss is ahead, 33% or so on efficiency. Nice yoinks. He could have just fought that. Immortals just absolutely shred Lurkers. I don't know why he didn't fight that. This is just like Protoss player playing with this food a bit. Your tenacity is amazing. I will say that. We just need to be a little bit more objective and have a bit more of a sense of urgency on what needs to be done, and as far as like the time in the game goes on as well. So, and what I mean by that is, like, if there's gonna be a transition coming behind the units, like, and that's what scouting is for, of course, to see that transition. But like, the moment, if you would have seen Storm in third base, I know you would have been able to feel safe enough to counterattack, or you should have been able to, because then you know that, hey, he's not Stalker all-inning you, so there's no reason, like, he's not overcommitting to these kinds of units, right? Once we get here, like, this is the point where we need Spire and Broods, and the Lurkers are more of a harassment tool, or like a saving your bases tool. But yeah, we just didn't have the tech, and he's already at this point in the game. So I'm gonna end it there. Hopefully this helps. Next, if you have any questions, feel free to PM me. I'm around as always. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.